Timeless 106.1 FM, KFFB. This is Bob Connell. Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of our Open Mic program. Traveling Mic with Senator Boozman. I feel like, John, we have been all over talking with farmers, talking with veterans. I mean, it's just been amazing, some of the open mics that we've had in the past few weeks and months, actually.
Well, it's really been good, and there's no substitute for getting out and about and visiting with people. And so we've gotten to visit with a lot of our farmers. We've visited with a lot of our law enforcement people, patting them on the backs, our veterans, telling them how much we appreciate them, and really also what's going on in their lives that we can help them with legislatively. The answers to our problems, and we've got some real challenges, but the answers need to come from the ground up, and that's how you get it, is by being out and about.
And we did learn a lot of stuff. There's so much things that I didn't know about the Veterans Assistant Programs for veteran-owned businesses. It's amazing, and this is something that a lot of people can call your office. They got questions. There's people you can direct them for that help.
No, you're exactly right, and that's one of the things that I enjoy the most about the work. Being the senator is that is helping others cut through the bureaucracy of the federal government, and there's so much of it. And so, if people are having IRS problems or veterans problems, Corps of Engineers problems, the list goes on and on. They need to be sure and give us a call, and we'll be glad to help them cut through the red tape and get an answer.
Well, tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary, and it's hard to believe it's 20 years for 9/11. Reflecting back where people were, and 9/11, I remember when the first plane hit, I said, people don't run into a building. I remember saying that to our operation manager. When the second one hit, I called the Arkansas Radio Network, and I said, guys, we got to get the long form on your side channel now, because I didn't have any way of getting long form news. Put it on now. And they said, the young boy at that time says, I don't know, I got to get a permission. I said, this is the biggest news day in your life, and you need to do that now. He did. And we went long form from that period on. And it was just unreal. Just feel like we were in slow motion all day, just the things that were happening. Where were you when that happened?
Well, I was actually at a breakfast in Fort Smith, and they came in with the news that a plane had struck, the building. And then a little bit later that another one had struck. And so I think all of us right then knew that things were going to be different, that this was a profound occurrence. I had a daughter in Washington that I was concerned about because we didn't really understand what was going on. So, and it has profoundly changed our country in the last 20 years. So I know it's touched so many in Arkansas directly. We have Sarah Lowe from Batesville, who is a flight attendant. I had the opportunity of being with her sister earlier in the week, and again, remembering, telling people to school, how important it is that we remember these events and the heroes that came through. Probably Sarah and her crew, by getting information back down to the ground, actually made it such that the flight attendants, the passengers on the plane that was supposed to hit the Capitol, that they actually, overcame and crashed into the ground. So something that we need to remember, not just on days like this, but the sacrifice of so many through the years. And then again, how do we improve? We're the greatest, freest country the world's ever known. But how do you get better? And I think you get better by, every Tuesday. That happened on a Tuesday, but not on Tuesday, every day of the week, getting up and really, kind of in your mind, how can I help somebody? How can I do a better job? That's really what it's all about.
When you look at the Afghanistan, that's all tied to 9/11, and America is really torn on what's going on here, and talking about Americans not able to get out. I mean, this is very concerning for all Americans right now.
Well, it really is. The Afghanistan, the whole situation of getting out was a complete debacle. And there'll be a lot of hearings. I hope that we hold people accountable for the way it was handled. I think we will. Democrats and Republicans both are talking about that. That's so very important. But right now, we really do need to focus on getting the at least 100 Americans that are still there. And then we worry about our allies. They have people in the same situation, that are stuck in the country. So we're working really hard to see if we can move that along and bring the Americans home that were abandoned.
And that's something you see, that they're both sides, the Democrats and Republicans, you feel this is going to be kind of a point to say we got to make it better.
Well, exactly. And this is something that, we need to be objective about this. This is not about picking on somebody. This was not a good situation. I don't think anybody feels like this was handled, that it wasn't just a complete debacle. You don't pull your military out before you pull out your people, and the list goes on and on. But we do need to concentrate now on getting out those that are left, and then dealing with the aftermath and holding people accountable.
Well, as we remember, Sarah Lowe from Batesville, she was, and a lot of folks, and I find out so many are in their 20s don't know the full story, but Sarah actually, as a good person, took the place of her friend on that flight. She wasn't supposed to be on that flight. So those are things that it just life-changing.
No, it really is. And I had the opportunity to visit with her sister at length earlier in the week, and Allison, and it's so important that we remember people like Sarah that did. And I think as they did things in the air and they just did it, they weren't thinking about, themselves. They responded and literally, I think, sacrificed it all, for the rest of us. So we do need to remember those things.
Well, Senator, thanks for taking time and talking with us as we come to the 20th anniversary of 9/11 tomorrow.
Well, thank you, Bob. And this is a very important date. It is something that it's so great that Americans are keeping it in their mind and remembering the sacrifice of others and all of the good things along with that of America, that we are the greatest, freest country that the world has ever known.